Hello everybody and welcome to Doing Stuff and Things. On this week's adventure, we're going to go cruise through the west side of Kauai and see a bunch of fun stuff to do and see, as well as some not so fun stuff to do on the west side. Now you may not realize this, but the west side of the islands in Hawaii, they're going to be very dry and very arid, whereas the north and the east shore, that's where you're going to find the big dense jungles, big mountains, and clear water. Now our first stop is going to be right before Waimea town. Waimea might sound familiar because Waimea is a very commonly used word in Hawaii. There's a Waimea town on the Big Island. There's the epic world-renowned Waimea Bay on Oahu. That's where the big wave surf competition is held. We're in Waimea, Kauai, and right alongside the highway, there's a little thing to see called the Russian Fort. And it sounds weird and random because you're like, Hawaii, Russians, what? It's because Hawaii is a little island chain right in the middle of the ocean. It's a natural stopping place for anyone crossing the oceans. So the Russians did build a fort here way back in the day. All that's left is the stone foundation, but it is historical and it's something to see. So check it out. Now if you follow a well-beaten path behind the Russian fort, there's a beach there, right at the mouth of Waimea River. We're going to see this beach, but I don't recommend it. Here's why. Now that beach smelled terrible. The water was murky and brown and awful, and it looked fairly dangerous. So really there's nothing for me to do at this beach. We're gonna move on. Now once you get through Waimea town, you can get up into Waimea Canyon. Waimea Canyon is truly epic. In fact, way back in the day, Mark Twain, yes, that Mark Twain, the author, he went through the Hawaiian Islands and he dubbed Waimea Canyon to be the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, simply because it is truly majestic and amazing. Here's why. Now, another nice thing about this area, Waimea, and then past Waimea into Kikaha State Park, is it is spiderwebbed with trails for hiking. Also a lot of hunting, so kind of be careful about which trail you take. But if you're a hardcore hiker, there are some amazing trails to take towards the end of the road. One of these trails will take you to the crater rim of Mount Waialeale, which is like the big volcano in the middle of the island, and it boasts to be the wettest place on Earth with over 400 inches of rain a year. That also means it's very cloudy, so you're not guaranteed to get a good view, but there are some epic hikes up past Waimea. Easier ones too, like the one I pointed out to the waterfall. That's not very long. I think it's like 2 miles. Gets you right on top of a huge, beautiful waterfall. Anyhow, lots of hiking up the Waimea Canyon area. But we're not going to do that today. We're moving on. So just past Waimea is going to be the last town on the west side. It's called Kikaha. There's not a lot there. In fact, we're going to come back to Waimea and I'll show you why. But in Kikaha, there are a couple neat things to see. One thing you can see right off the road is the forbidden island of Niihau. There's also some great viewing spots for the island of Niihau way up the canyon of Waimea. There's some turnouts where you can get a good view of the ocean and the island. But Niihau is called the Forbidden Island because it's privately owned by the Robinsons family. In fact, they own most of the west side of Kauai. And a lot of the west side of Kauai has also been leased to do genetically modified plant testing. I don't understand it completely. All I know is they're doing a lot of weird growing stuff. I don't want to get into politics, but there's some GMO corn over there if you want to see it. Directly across the street from some of these fields is a random bird sanctuary. Now, I like wildlife. I don't really care any more about birds than I do about beavers, but I like wildlife. So here's a bird sanctuary that's right alongside the road that you can tuck in to see. Bird sanctuary is pretty anticlimactic, I know. It's just a great place to get sunburnt and see a few ducks, I guess. After some of this adventuring, you're probably going to want to get in the water and cool off. Plus you're in Hawaii. Its primary attraction is the ocean. Now, a great beach to get in the water on this side of the island is Kikaha Beach. There is a lifeguard there, and if you're kind of timid about the water, I do recommend that you swim in front of the lifeguard. In fact, the lifeguard will appreciate and prefer that as well. Now, if you're bodyboarding, body surfing, or surfing, there are some great waves that are commonly found in this area. Or if you just want to get some good pictures of wave curls, you can do that here too. Just be careful. Make sure there's no hard rip current that day. Make sure the ocean is safe. Obvious stuff, but I gotta point it out. If you're unfamiliar with rip currents, I do recommend you click on my little face down there. It'll take you to the channel, and I have videos on all kinds of stuff in Kauai. A lot of the stuff I reference as well, I will have full videos on, like how to see rip currents. Now, if you were to take the road all the way to the end on the west side, past the GMO stuff, past all the military stuff, you will dead end at Kikaha State Park. And of course, I have a video on that as well. And that's all fun stuff to do. But today's adventure, we're just doing these kind of off the road things. And we're gonna need to refuel. You gotta fill the tank after all this adventure, the swimming and the walking and the picture taking and whatnot. So get some tacos in Waimea. I like island tacos, but there is a ton of good and delicious food there in Waimea. One of the reasons I like island tacos is because it's right across the street from my favorite tourist shop on the whole island. And I know what you're thinking. Someone that lives in Hawaii, why do they care about tourist stuff? Well, that's just me. I love Hawaiian tchotchke, knickknacks, and bric-a-brac. It just has a fun energy. And this particular store, right across from Island Tacos, I don't remember the name of it, but they have signs up for red dirt shirts. If you don't know what red dirt shirts are, they are shirts that have been dyed red from the local dirt, so it's a whole thing. But this store has a great selection of all kinds of fun stuff, including hoodies, which it turns out is really hard to find in Hawaii. A good hoodie. I got this hoodie there. So that's an easy day trip on the west side of Kauai. See the Russian Fort, see Waimea Canyon, get a picture of the forbidden island of Ni'ihau, check out a random bird sanctuary with not a whole lot going on in it, get in the waves at Kikaha Beach Park, grab some tacos and a souvenir from Waimea Town, and have a nice day. See you next time.